Perfect. 3:30. Good timing, Mr. Bajerski. A wizard is never late. He's always on time. I ain't no wizard. I've written down here before I saw that just meme 2 seconds ago, the most powerful method to win a war or wars and bring about a new world order of enslavement is to silence those that dare speak out. The most powerful way to win a war is for those that should speak out, that don't speak out. That's what level 1. Level 2 is this. So level 2 is quite profound because love is the answer. Absolutely it is. There needs be no other question. They fear love because it creates a world they can't control. They fear people who come together with one thought. And the problem with that is, as soon as you think about that, you can clearly see how the agenda has tried to separate all of us. The darkness has tried to make us all believe that we should hate each other for our color or our belief system. So I think the major concern of darkness is that they do not want us to fall in love. They don't want to fall for love. They don't want us to fall for love, because love is the ultimate answer to everything. You can just let everything else go and just march towards love. And they don't like that. Of course they don't. That's why they tend to separate everything about us, our families, gender, and so on. Interestingly enough, I read some cards. Don't often read cards these days, but I read some cards with regards to this phase 2 of the plan. We call it the end game. Welcome, everybody. We call it the end game, or I do. The end game is basically to have full control over humanity. And anybody who is falling for that, anybody who is in line with that, really seems to be just brought up. So it would seem, let's start with the false flag. That always interests me. Whenever I look at false flags, I see it as a two-way false flag. One is a kind of to distract you, and one is to further the agenda of the end game. But the two that I'm talking about, when they create them, one is and they're both false flags. One is whereby they would make headlines and say this happened. Say, for instance, somebody got shot, but they didn't get shot, right? Or they might have just slightly got hurt. That to me is a false flag. And 2 buildings going down, killing 3,000 people, to those that created that is just ants. We're just chattel, just being, it's not a big deal to them. To us, it like, how could anybody kill 3,000, 2,000 people? You know, it doesn't mean anything to them. So the 2 false flags, but the same narrative, the same goal, the same agenda is used to create that at the end of it. So you're scratching your head thinking, oh my God, that's terrible. Fear, fear, fear. Or that's terrible, we need to do something about it. Problem, reaction, solution always is within a false flag. I think you guys already know that. Military industrial complex is a word that has always been, 3 words that have always been used to try and highlight darkness, those that are actually in control of everything. So if, let's just say, there is a group a global group around the world that control the world. Let's just say, for argument's sake, let's call them the military industrial complex, or the dark industrial complex. They run the world. It isn't about color. It isn't about race. It's just about global ruling of the world. That's these that are what I tend to call the level of darkness that resides within inside these spacesuits. So they are the ultimate of satanic, the ultimate of power, greed, ultimate of darkness. They feed from that. That's what their masters want from them, because of course they have masters. They have Elohims. They have all their gods that they pray to. And that's why they use the stars. They use certain dates as part of their agenda, because they believe that the power of dark and light is there, and they can use the power of dark to their advantage. And looking up at the stars are certainly part of it. So that's why they always use certain dates. So the next one, which most people, this is where it kind of confuses everybody completely, and that is the I call them the big fish. And I often mention them because this is where everybody attacks each other, and this is purposely by design. Big fish, i.e. presidents around the world, they're the big fish. So to anybody else, they would seem as if they were important and powerful, and they come across as important and powerful. They come across to tell you they're actors, they're lifetime actors. They've been made that way, not by anybody specific, but created by, I believe, the very darkness that is in this world and controls most of it. So it feeds them this idea of power will make them something special, and they will be ultimately listened to and loved. And this is this feeling of need and want. And these presidents, no matter who they are, will give you false statements all the time, promising you everything. And then when you look back on their presidency, you realize that nothing's changed. And nothing does actually change. Maybe minuscule little things, so you can argue amongst yourself that this has changed and that's changed. But nothing really stops. It continues. It might be just slowed down a little bit, but that is all by design. But ultimately, when you look at your life, more and more your freedoms are being taken away. And whenever they argue to you saying that we saved this and we did that, then you look at across the board and you realize, no, nothing's changed at all. It's exactly the same. And I can give you 100 examples, but let's say now that's one. Presidents, CEOs, 3-letter ABC agencies, all of them, they're all implicit in this big fish energy as well. So they too can be even more powerful than presidents. So they're all in line. They're all in place. You've got your Musks who are, and you've got your coming up soon, Trump, they're all going to get in place certain things that you think are going to be brilliant, until you look back in time and realize that it's the same agenda. It's just a different makeup. It's just a different suit. It's just a different stage show. But ultimately, the darkness is continuing to win. So when you've got these CEOs, when you've got these big fish who are in, let's say, powerful positions, they're only there to make it look like you believe that they're running the world when they're not. Big pharma, medical industry, World Health Organization, they all play a role in the very part that all presidents play, all CEOs play. All of them are all intertwined and interconnected. And if you look at it on a level of knowing each other, it's true. It's a big club and you're not in it. They're all involved with each other. They're all giving back pay to each other. They're all giving kickbacks here and there. They're all getting bonuses. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins. The only thing that matters is that humanity gets culled in some way or sick and ill, again, to feed the very nature of the beast. And that's how it works. It really works that way. So I read some cards about this next false flag event. I've already mentioned it before. I don't believe anything that mainstream media tells me. Even when something's up in the sky, I smell a rat and know that that's not genuine. The reason why it's not genuine is because if you're an empath, you can feel truth and you can feel deception, and you feel it normally in your stomach. If you get a bit of a sick feeling, you know that they're lying to you. And soon as we found out that they were going to do this, which was already in the cards, it was already spoken about many, many years ago. So it wasn't a surprise to many of us. And that in itself is quite fascinating too. They don't call them UFOs, they call them drones. So not to, again, it's all drip feed to me. It's all a drip feed. Very clever game of chess, how they bandy words, how they use words, and how they drop words into conversations and then drop words into war. Then the war comes about and we need another war. And it's always the same thing. Humans, children, men, women are always the victim to everything that happens. So it's a game. And like, I'm not laughing. I find it hard that people don't see that the only people who are going to benefit are the very powerful ones that live for a very long time and very healthy, even though they're sick and twisted. And yet children are killed. They don't care about, the chattel. We're just ants to them. And it continues no matter what clown show they use, no matter what game show is next. It always is the outcome of humanity suffering, whether it be via sickness, and all of those sicknesses are all man-made. Everything is man-made, and there is no this just happened. There's no such thing. It's all by design. Everything that happens in this world is by design. AIDS have broken out. We were saying this age, like, it's all by design. It was all created. It came from a wet market. It came from like a monkey. Yeah, no, don't blame nature. Blame monsters who work in laboratories. Blame these sick, mental, subhuman beings who are creating the very nature of hell on earth, because they don't want love. They don't want anything to flourish. They don't want anything. They just imagine just the most greediest reptiles that just think for themselves. This is what runs this world. So when I was looking at these lights in the sky, I kind of laughed and thought, okay, what's next? Here we go. And that's a good way to look at it. Here we go. What are they doing to us next? This is a good way to see it. This is a good way to say, oh, fuck, look what they're doing now. Spraying in our sky. It's always man-made. And it isn't man per se. It's monsters. It's evil incarnate that creates this. Nothing more, nothing less. And then you've got these, which I call big fish, who are the in between. It's like when I speak to you on Facebook, you can talk to me face to face, right? In the sense of send me a message and I can read it. There's nothing in between that. Nothing can stop that. Now, if I'm on my website, you can't talk to me face to face. You have to either send me an email, and then I can look at the email and decide whether to interact with that. But my firewall, my wall is my website. So you imagine that the monsters have what's called the system, politics, government. That's their firewall. So you have to get to them. You have to then get through them to get to the monsters that run this world. And the problem with it is, guys, we've talked about this for years and years and years. And the one thing that a lot of people won't say because they fear it, they fear saying it. I showed you a card twice now. Every time I read for our future of 6 months, and it was always destruction. It was always the destruction card, but it always showed us shining bright. Even in the midst of everything, you know, in rubble, falling apart, we still shone our light. So there was always hope in that card of a future, no matter how bad. I often talk about the playground effect. If there is a bully in the playground and he is controlling the whole of the playground, if there's 5 bullies in the playground, so they control the playground, they control what you eat, they control what you play with, they control everything. The teachers just get on with it. They don't care. They're not bothered. So they'll come up to you, Bajerski, what you got in your pocket? Nothing. Oh, open them, show me. No, show me or I'll punch your face in. Okay. How many marbles you got there? 5. I'm taking 3 of them. All right. Now bog off. Jenny, what are you eating? What's in that box there? What have you got food there? I'll have that there. Give me that string. I want them. I want that apple. Now bog off. Now, when the bullies are completely in control of the playground, if you want to get rid of those bullies and you want the playground to be filled with love, you know that there's only 2 things that can be done in that playground. And that is if everybody comes together and stands side by side next to each other and confronts them 5 bullies, all of you. And you all have one agenda, and that is that these bullies are to go. They're not going to stay. They have to go. You can't keep them in the playground because they're going to continue doing what they're doing, because that's what they are. They're monsters. But what the bullies will do is they will fight till their last breath. They will destroy and beat and do everything they can to stay in that playground and be there. The world is very much like a playground. We have got monsters running the world, and they don't want to let this world go because they are feeding from us. They have enslaved us for millennia. They feed from us every day by our taxes, which all go to them, which you don't know about. One way or another, those coffers that are in the government resources that we put into, they take that money out, whether it's from CEOs, what they own, or whatever it may be. They siphon the pot, and they are beyond wealth. So they're not going to let that go lightly. They're going to fight tooth and nail. So what they see is that the world's coming together a little bit more. Why? Because they're starting to, same as the playground, Jenny says to John, I'm sick of Bob, Brian, Barry, David and Anthony. I'm sick of them. All 5 of them. They're bullies. They're bullying us. And I say, yeah, you're right. We need to do something about it. So there's 2 people awake to this now, and they're wanting to do something about it. Bob, Brian, Billy, they all see us. They know that we're talking about them. And they know full well that we're not happy with what they're doing. And they can feel it. They can feel it in the air. They can feel it in the energy. They can feel it that these 2 are now talking to Tracy and Sharon, and now little Adam's now all talking, and they're all saying the same. Yeah, I know. Well, you know, I just didn't know what to say or do, and I'm frightened all the time. Well, there's 5 of us now. You know, and all the bullies are watching us, right? And so they might slap us again, they might beat us a bit harder, but we still know, and we still go home and we cry and we come back and we might say it to somebody else, and we say it to somebody else, and we keep telling everybody that they're bullying us and we need to do something. So now we're getting to the stage where more and more people are awakened to the bullies. We're awakened to the lies of these bullies. Same as government, same as politician. They're all the monsters. They're all the same. So so now they're starting to see, And they're not really able to control us anymore per se. Yes, they'll throw us into prison. They know that they can do what they want that way, but we're now starting to wake up more and more. And because of that, the bullies in the playground, in this world playground, the ones in the behind the computer screen that you can't get to, they're now seeing this, and they now need the next level of how to sleight of hand us, how to put fear into us, what to do to stop us from talking to each other and telling each other that we need to stop them. They need to somehow cause some kind of chaos or madness or destruction in the playground, because if they don't do something, they know that too many people know about it and then fight back and say, we're not having you and you're going to get out of this playground. So the end game was always predicted, and that would be a UFO invasion. So the UFO invasion was something that I heard about many years ago, and I was told about this by many people. I watched it on Stephen Greer did it as well. He had I can't remember her name, Kathy Roslin or something like that, the one with long blonde hair. I showed a video the other week just to remind you all, but it was said by Bill Myers, and loads of other people had mentioned it. It's also mentioned biblically. It was mentioned. So basically, it's a kind of war of the worlds. It's the theme is War of the Worlds, basically, and that an extraterrestrial race would come and unite us all together. I'm shaking my head because it's not about uniting. It's about actually bringing in a global fear and a new global club for everybody to sit in the house and shake and please God, give us an answer. So the darkness that creates this is waiting for the problem, reaction, solution, fear in humanity to trigger, as we do, because we soon forget what happens from day to day. That's what we all do. That's why they get away with it, because it really doesn't matter what they do to us. We forget. There's some kind of fail-safe mechanism in the human mind that stops us from triggering truth, and we slip back into it again, and I forgot about that. Oh yeah, let me forget about that. I don't want to think about that anymore. Oh yeah, trapped in a room for 4 years telling us that I can't hug my grandma who's got cancer and she's dying, and I can't, and I've got it. Yeah, all of that we forgot about now, and oh, thank God for that, we're all right now. This keeps coming, and it will keep coming, and it will keep coming, and it will keep getting bigger and bigger. And the reason why is because more people are understanding that we're getting very used to seeing that everything is a lie. We're getting used to hearing it, but it doesn't really matter so much, because the darkness controls everything, and the darkness will not allow us to break free. One thing, we don't have an answer to anything, so that goes in their favor. Anybody who tries to come up with an answer will be locked up or their life taken away. So they're always watching. They're always watching the playground, and that's how it works. So what would be the next logical step for the lights in the sky? And why is it that so many countries are now painting their roofs a different color? Yeah, China seems to be doing that. Has anybody seen that? They're starting to paint their roofs. So what would be the destruction? You can't shake your head and say this isn't possible, because 4 years ago they made it possible that everybody injected a bioweapon inside them, and everybody now has forgot about that and says we're all okay, apart from the ones who are dropping down dead and who can't move properly anymore. So you can't really have a conversation with humanity anyway, because one, they don't want to hear it if they've been injected. Two, they don't want to sound as if they're stupid or they made a mistake. Something about humanity that would rather fight you than admit that they were wrong or duped. That's okay. I'm not bothered about that. What I am bothered about is what could be next. What could these round balls of light do? Could it be that they're connected to the whole grid, which is the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10G death towers, including Musk, that I don't believe has the finger on all of his satellites. He's just a front man to the military industrial complex. No man in the world can send up 20, 30, 40,000 satellites on his own. Sorry, guys, but if you think that, then you're bowing down to another hero, another god, which is not. He just plays a very important part for humanity to buy into the next steps. There is no such thing as one goal. There are many goals that darkness work upon. And it's not just the mind, it's not just the body, but it's the spiritual as well. It wants to change the perception of people. It wants to target all their wealth and money into one place so they can funnel it more. That's why there'll be coins brought out in the name of the god of Elon Musk and Trump. And then you will all put your money into that. And that will be, again, another way of siphoning your money so that they can get richer through this screen, which I call the Trumps and the Elon Musks and all your heroes. That's the very nature of my website, that you can't get to me. You have to go through them first to get to the real baddies. So having said that, what do I believe? I did, and I have done for the past year or so, talked about many things that really starting to make me think more and more that we were on the right path. And I think we already know the truth and we already have the answers. I think all of humanity has the answer inside. Some of us can attune to it and some of us just don't realize, and we've already got the answer. And I think the fact that humanity is now starting to eat healthier. They're starting to eat a lot more fruit and vegetables. They're starting to eat a lot more greens. This is a few years now, a good few years. They started to eat a lot more berries, antioxidants all the time. Milk thistle. They're starting to, drink a lot of more healthier green teas, and there's a lot of things that, like nuts, that garlic, turmeric. And so on. Why is that? Why is that coming to the forefront? Because humanity knows. I'm talking about empaths. I'm talking about psychics, healers, people who want to help the world. And what does all of that information, if you think about it, what's it for? Why is it? Is it health? Yeah, but why? Why is there a pattern about all of this? And now we talk about minerals, anything to do with seaweed and so on. Well, we realize now, if we put the pieces together, it's because of what we said, the dangers that we saw when all of a sudden, when we were all locked away, these multi-trillion death towers were put up. They were put up. And what are they? If you go past them, you can sometimes get an extreme headache. You can get rashes. And that is, of course, a microwave. It is radiation poisoning. So what would be the next logical step for these balls of light flashing that we don't know what they are? That's what they say. But could it be that the next existential threat is that the darkness, these monsters in power in the playground are saying, this is what we have to do. We have to cause chaos to humanity, and we need to send our directed energy weapons and cause mass hysteria, maybe take buildings down like they did when in Hawaii and wherever they send their directed energy weapons, and the cars burn out, and like what the and could that be the next thing? And could it be that China's painting their roofs a different color? Is it blue? Are they painting them blue? And why is that? Why are they all painted? Why is it everywhere now? What's happening? Could it be that they're realizing that they're preparing for this fake alien invasion, which is created by the very dark industrial complex that are the bullies in the playground that are about to, cause havoc, so that might be in a world war. And could that happen? Is it possible? Could it be that would be the final card, that humanity has woken up enough to say, we're not standing for this anymore, and we're going to take the bullies away, and we're going to find them, and we're not having it, and then they cause chaos and havoc to distract everybody, so we're not thinking about them anymore, and then that's it. Whether they care, I mean, they don't care about us anyway, but could it be that would be the final thing? I think it probably would. But my feeling, I have this awful feeling that they're going to do something which has already started. And that is a slow drip radiation poisoning of humanity. And that's why a lot of us are detoxing quite a lot lately. We're starting to bring out a mucus that, like, where is this coming from? Why is there blood in this? A lot of people are getting ear infections. A lot of people are getting tinnitus. Where's tinnitus come from? What all these things that are happening to the heart and to the brain, and yeah, it could be one stage that was successful, which was the bioweapon endgame prior to the endgame, called the injection, and that did a lot of good for them. They love that, because this is a drip feed, and if it happened all at once, then we would all jump up and scream. But because it's just drip feeding everywhere, and people are just dropping here and there, they get away with it, with the mainstream media coming up with bullshit like, please God, don't look at the sun, or you're gonna get myocarditis or your heart, all the bullshit. But it's all a drip feed. So could it be next that what's happening now, and will continue to happen, is that they will turn up the Wi-Fi, the global Wi-Fi? There's always this, but this is movie star, this is orange, this is, no guys, that's the barrier, that's the computer. You can't get past that. What's behind that? Who's behind that, watching and listening? That's what they are. That basically, it's a smoke screen. All of these death towers were put up not because of Wi-Fi, but because of radiation and how they can use them. I drove past a radiation tower this morning, and I was probably a football pitch away from it, and I got a terrible headache as I was driving past it, and I turned and looked and saw it. It was massive, and it had loads of these microwaves on, and I could feel it was turned up. I've been talking about this for 5 years, 6 years. Could it be that this now is now being turned up? And again, drip feed always is in one country, in one town, in one city. It's a global chess game, and they're using it to cause sickness. So I heard some people mention that something about a dirty bomb and stuff like that, and that there was a lot of them in Russia gone missing. Why now? Why haven't you talked about it when they went missing every single day? Why just now? You know that it's all made up. It's all made up because they're creating it. So when they say a dirty bomb or radiation, they're going to use that as the next plandemic, in my humble opinion. So what I decided to do is just ask that question, and I turned a card over, and I asked, would people understand this? And I turned this card over, and it's anger and frustration. So when I make these videos, I know it's going to piss people off because they just want a happy day and they want love. And I'm fine with that. And I want love today, and I want to be happy, and I will be, and I won't be thinking about this all day long. But what I will be doing is what I did 5 years ago. when I made a video and I turned the very card over when I said that I don't think these injections are going to be healthy for us. And I think they're a bioweapon. And I think that a lot of people are going to get sick and ill. And you all got mad with me again. You got angry with me. But some of you didn't. Some of you said, I'm really, I can't believe this is happening. I don't believe it's anything to do with poisoning people. I think that they're wanting to help us. I think our governments are really trying to help us, and they're trying to get this injection out to us so we're all going to be healthy. Those people have shut up now. They've not said anything. They don't speak to me anymore. They don't want to talk to me anymore, but they damn well know that they're sick and ill and they're not well, and they know it, but they don't want to talk to me anymore. However, some of you didn't get angry, and some of you were angry at the situation that it could be a possibility. And what you said to me is, right, I'd rather you not talk about these things, but I'm glad that you did. And because of that, I'm going to stop and listen. And what you said was just watch what happens. Don't rush into doing anything too quick. Just watch what happens. And a lot of you did. Thousands of you did. And thousands of you were very happy. So today I'm doing the same thing. I'm saying, just if anything starts to happen and you start to feel sick and you don't start to feel well, and maybe you'll start to look at taking stuff that is good for your body. Because the card that I got last time was a man or woman stood on their own, shining bright. And what that meant in a chaos around them, everything was just, I'll show you the card. So as you can see, that's all rubble. That's all, there's nothing built there. It's all destroyed. You can see it's all destroyed. But then you look here. It's funny how there's a tower there. It looks like a tower. Still a tower stood there, like a little, anyway, there you go. That's you. So what I got from that was that it's so vital that we prepare our body just in case. Now, you're not taking anything that's going to cause you any suffering or pain. It's not going to do anything to you. So shungite, like these shungite, this is called shungite. Shungite is fantastic for radiation. So your phone in there, it reduces radiation poisoning. Shungite you wear around your neck. Silicon Valley, surprise, surprise. Can you imagine? Silicon Valley, aka terahertz. Look for them. They're on my website, but you can also go and buy them in crystal stores. Wear them all the time. I wear mine at night now. I put these by my bed at night. I've just bought another consignment of 500 of them because people want them next to their bed. Also, food, what you eat, is important. So eating more fresh, natural, healing berries, strawberries, blueberries, all the berries you can, that is going to help. Seaweed, a lot of anything to do with sea is healthy and healing. Any nutrients from the sea, iodine, fantastic. While I was in Bali, I don't know why, but I was drinking hydrogenated water like mad. And I was drinking it all the time. I was buying it, and somebody said to me, why are you drinking all that? I don't know. Now I understand why. Because everything that I'm telling you about is, if you did have a mild radiation poisoning, these are the things that naturally heal and cleanse. So I've got spirulina in there. I've been taking spirulina, milk thistle. These are things that clear your body all the time. Oh, the antioxidants all the time. I've been eating nuts. I've been eating berries. I've been eating loads of green leaves, natural. These are the things that cleanse and clear your body. I've also been eating lots of garlic. I mean, I can show you. I've got tons of garlic in there, right? And this is all to do with clearing the cells which get damaged. Honestly, it's fantastic for cell regeneration. Garlic, just something as powerful as Mother Nature as that. You don't need to get a capsule, guys. You know, vitamin C in its natural form. Eat fruit and vegetables. These are important. Melatonin. There's just so much you can research and study, but start to use that in your diet. Start to pay attention to what's happening around you. Start to cleanse and clear your body more and protect your body more. Switch the Wi-Fi off on a night. Switch all your electrical off on a night. So, you know, these are the things that I do. And I know this also might sound stupid as well, but I tell you what, guys, I drink a lot of sage tea. I sage myself with sage. I cleanse myself with Palo Santo. I use natural oils on my body all the time. I use pine on here. I use a lot of pine, which is my awakening oil, and so on. All my oils I use constantly to cleanse and clear my body. Why? Because if what I believe is true, this is round 2. Round 1, which people called an IQ test, nearly everybody lost. Now there's round 2, which is even bigger fear factor. There's spaceships coming, and they're gonna send their waves, their pulse waves down to smash and destroy everything. And some people are going to get radiation poisoning. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe this is going to maybe take longer, because that will be the final straw. That would be when we get the bullies in the corner and say, no more, it's finished, it's ended. Do I think that Trump's here to end and finish anything? No, I don't. Sorry, guys. Do I think Elon Musk is here to change the world? No, they're just the next generation that continues the very thing that's going to happen, which is total domination against humanity. And they'll be fine. They don't give a shit what you think and feel. They tell you that they do. They tell you in one voice that we want freedom, and then they're doing the very opposite of what they're doing by placing chips into brains and wanting people to be fully connected to the World Wide Web, so that you are not thinking, but you are processing all that is being typed into a global computer telling you what to think and what to eat. And all the while, the medical industry will grow stronger. Big Pharma will be more powerful. And those that you think is an individual called Trump isn't an individual. It's a religion. It's just in a different form. And like all religions, they will steer you down the path. Like all cults, they will send you into the cave so you will kill yourself because they tell you to. I want you to live, and I want you to be healthy, and I want you to be happy. But most of all, what I share with you is something really powerful, and that is, let no one steal your power. Let no one make you fear. Be your answer. Don't wait for a God to save you. You are the savior. So that's kind of like where I am at this moment. And I often say nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me. When I say I don't believe anything in mainstream media, what I mean by that is I know exactly what they're doing. Meaning that whatever they say, there's something else afoot. This is all lies and manipulations, and it keeps going, and it doesn't matter who's in power, it continues. It continued when he was in power before, and it will continue to this day. The wars will still continue no matter who is in power, because this is all a spiritual battle between light and dark, and ultimately darkness, evil, is in control. And the only way we can win this war is by waking up and saying, we're tired of the bullies. We're sick of and tired of the bullies, and we're now going to call them out every day. And by doing that, The calling isn't just pointing fingers, it's knowing. It's your truth and speaking it and seeing it and standing strong in your truth. And the way to heal from that, the answers that everybody asking everybody else for is within you. So stop asking people for answers and find the answers inside yourself. What I've shared with you today is only a speck, is only a grain of sand on the beach. You should be looking at answers yourself of how you can protect and heal your body, because that's important in this day and age, and how to spread love every day, which I do. Every day I spread love. Every day I try and help somebody and heal somebody. That never stops, but it isn't going to stop me from speaking my truth. And I wouldn't stop you from speaking your truth. So that's my message today, guys. Nothing shocking about it. Nothing that you didn't probably know, because like I said, we all know the truth. It's inside all of us, because there is a universal energy that speaks to us daily, and we channel it. It's just whether we want to listen to it or not. So be amazing, stay strong. Love you all. Thanks for joining me today, guys. And again, it was just a food for thought podcast. Nothing shocking, nothing to scare you, but maybe, just maybe, there's some ammunition there. So have a great day. Take care. Love you all. Bye for now, guys.